This is Deborah Johnson for Women at Halftime, and I'm passionate about helping women use their untapped skills, resources, and talents to create their ideal work and lifestyle, making a difference in their second half. Hello, this is Deborah Johnson with another great episode. How to go from busyness to living with intention at halftime. Oh, living with intention. So what does that mean? Usually that's with a plan or with purpose. So it doesn't seem that our life gets any less busy. It doesn't matter how old we are, what stage of life we are at. So just being busy is just, we're on a time crunch here. So we're going to approach some things today that will hopefully help you at least think through some of your activities, think through your life on where you want to be and where you are presently as well. So, and we're going to figure out where to focus. And sometimes that's the key because you kind of look at everything, you get a little overwhelmed. So, we equate being busy many times with being productive and being successful. But that's not always true. Now, I have some true Southern roots back in Georgia and come from a family of dairy farmers, very hardworking dairy farmers. They are wonderful, wonderful people. And when we visit, it's really interesting that there are so many talking about everything that they're doing. Just do. And it's almost like busyness is next to godliness. You know, it's like it starts with, okay, what time did you get up? And how much did you get done before breakfast? And then how hard did you work before lunch? And this is a real mindset because busyness is not always productiveness, at least in the right areas. We can keep busy, always running around and running in circles. And we've had days like that. I mean, all of us have days like that. I get really frustrated when I have a day like that because I am just geared toward productivity. I like to get a lot of stuff done, and I don't like to waste time at all. I don't like to waste my time, and I don't like other people also to waste my time. So I'm pretty picky about that. So it's frustrating to me if I feel like, my time's not going how I planned. But what really, really helps is to have a good plan, and it helps me not to overplan. And that's hard because I am that type A personality, and I tend to cram a lot of things, a lot of goals into even a couple hours. So you want to plan in a couple areas as we think of just being busy, changing with that mindset of living with intention at halftime. And officially halftimes, age 40 and above. Most are at about 45-ish to 60 during this time of where there's a lot of transitions and change and starting to think through more of the issues that we're talking about here. But that plan is very, very important in two different areas. One, it would be for your business and for your work. And number two, for your lifestyle. So let's talk about first what the business looks like and your work. Many people love what they're doing, and you should just keep doing what you're doing unless you want to add some different things to your work that will make you love it even more, or develop on the side something you've always dreamed of doing. But again, that takes intention and it takes time. What a good step on this is just to take a deeper dive here in figuring out what your objectives and strategies are, and really what you want to do, what you love to do, and also into your current skill level. and what do you love that you're doing and that you're good at doing. Some of those things are going to be in that soft skill area, and those are needed more than ever in our today's society. Those soft skills of being able to communicate between teams, be able to great customer service. Oh my goodness, that's really a difference. That's a deal breaker sometimes when I'm working with an organization or a company or even a product. If they have good customer service, I that's a definite plus. I'm doing some more travel lately, and boy, in the organizations that provide those little extras, it makes all the difference. And it just you leave just so much more satisfied. And the same will happen with almost any company that you would want to either work for or with. And prioritize the skill that you want to and need to improve. Here, there are so many wonderful opportunities, such as classes, online training, courses. There are so many groups to join and different networks in developing a skill. Also, what are you reading and how are you spending your extra time, your leisure time, even in developing more business skills? It takes time to be able to do that. So you want to find some little areas that you can fit some of those extra skill training in, and prioritizing your activities and obligations will help you do that. I talk a lot about the urgent versus the necessary. We tend to really respond to the urgent things that happen. Sometimes we have to. When I was a young mom, if one of my kids got sick or fell, I had one of our sons fell on his front teeth. We had to deal with that. Fortunately, they were the baby teeth, but they came out. But you have to deal with those things. That's the urgent things that happen. But some of those urgent things you were able to put off and plan to spend more time on that necessary, those that needs to be put into your schedule that will really help you build at this point, especially at this point in your life. And then when you have those obligations or those goals that you are setting out there ahead, your plan, your structure, and then to divide that, of course, into small little steps to move ahead. I've spent time doing a little study on time wasters, and we all do it. We have to have the freedom to do a little bit of this. You just have to have some downtime, and that comes in a lot of different sort of colors and shapes and everything else for what people want to spend time on, whether it's computer time, whether it's watching TV. But the time spent watching TV is still pretty steep. For those aged 45 to 65, it's usually 2.5 to 3 hours every single day. And that's a very low number. It goes way up from that. And that may be listening to news. It may be sports programs, and that's very understandable. But when you add and even multiply that, there's a lot of extra little time in there that you can carve out. Also, computer games. Those are another area where a lot of time is eaten up. So when you're thinking about living with intention, just to be able to look honestly at those areas. I hear all the time people that get stuck on Instagram. It's endless, actually. Once you start on that, I've done the same thing. And you start watching all the stories and you want to like everything. And you want, oh, look what this person's doing, this person. So you have to kind of really regulate that a little bit. Also, with living with intention, if you want to do more of that, your financial goals are very important. And because you want freedom at this point. If you want to start living with more intention and doing maybe some of the things that you'd really love to do, whether that's travel, whether that's something else, you want to have some freedom financially. And you'll have more freedom in creating your ideal work and your lifestyle if you are able to get by some of those financial, like, bondage is what we have, the debt. And it usually starts with, especially with young couples, they've got too much car and too much house, and they're tied down. So if you can free yourself up a little bit with some of that and the credit, you're going to have a lot more freedom throughout your whole life, especially with that sort of mindset. Get a good financial planner to have some debt reduction. And there are some also people on the radio, such as the Dave Ramseys, he's the trusted voice. This is what he's known as, the trusted voice on money. As a radio host, he's got proven plans for financial success in getting rid of that debt. It's very worth pursuing one of his programs. He has a lot of success stories, and he has a true passion for helping people getting out of debt. So this business area will affect your personal area and your life plan as well. So what you want your business to end up looking like, whether you want to start scaling down to work less and less, there are not just very few, but there are fewer and fewer of those that are really wanting to fully retire. When we talk about retirement, unless you've got this amazing pension. I'm in California, and with the news of pensions that may not be there in a number of years. I mean, our states can't really handle that for too many more years because they'll go completely bankrupt. So you have to plan ahead. Many are not just totally retiring. They want to work. They want to do something that they've always dreamed of. So in being able to live with intention, the earlier that you do this, the better it is. It's never too late, but the better it is. And then living with intention for your life plan. What do you want your lifestyle to look like? So you want to love what your lifestyle looks like, and what you want your schedule to look like. And this, actually, I have a hard time slowing down because I am that type A. I love my work. But to be able to plan, the trips and the times to be able to just take a break is really great for me at this point. And I just put them right into my schedule. Also, simplifying so you have less clutter to eat up the brain space. One of those books, of course, very popular, the Marie Kondo, The Magic Art of Tidying Up. Oh my goodness. After I read that, I was very, very convicted. Thought, boy, am I a clutter person. I just can gather things. And it's not easy to just get rid of things, especially, I think I've come from a family that saved so many things. Of course, my grandmother, many of us have grandmothers or great-grandmothers that they went through the Depression and they saved everything. My grandmother saved every single little plastic bag, tinfoil, everything. And of course, when she passed, there was a whole storage room completely full of that stuff. And she was afraid to throw anything away. And my parents didn't throw a lot away either. It was just a lot. And you tend to have that sort of bent. So you're going to save those things. Now, some of you listening, you're going, I don't have that problem. I can throw anything away. But many do have their struggle, especially when you start caring for those with at their later times of their life, and they are downscaling, and you are helping them downscale. You've got family mementos. what do you do with that? How do you deal with that? I have kept some of those things. In fact, the other day was so sweet. One of my sisters, we were meeting together and, losing both parents this last year. We are still working through a lot of the little legal details we had to work through. One of my sisters had the little black bear. I had gotten my mom at the Black Bear Diner, and when she was in this little home that we had her in that last year, we took her out to lunch. I took her to lunch there, and I said, we are not leaving here until we get you a bear. I want to get you a little black bear. And I didn't tell her that we had gotten rid of so many of the little bears that she had kept through the years that were in her house. There were just so many. It was overwhelming. And I bought her a little black bear with red plaid feet. So, so cute. I just loved that little bear. And when she fell, broke her hip, she had that little black bear right by her in her bed. And one of my sisters had kept that little black bear. I didn't even know she had it. And she brought it to me at lunch the other day. And I just had huge tears in my eyes, thinking, I can never get rid of something like this. And you need to keep those things, because that is part of what your life memories are. But just keep a few things, not everything. I did not keep the other 100 bears that we found, but just a few things that will help you, a few mementos, but not the huge, large ones. So, and that's hard. Sometimes that's very, very hard to let some of those things go that are so special. And I was ready to keep some more things, except for one of my other sisters was able to take on a few of those things that we did want to keep in our family. So decide what that lifestyle is going to look like, what clutter you're going to keep around, and how much brain space you're going to have. And that's very, very helpful, especially if you have the artistic bent like I do. We tend to gather things. I do, and I have a harder time than getting through everything, but it does create a lot more clarity and brain space when I am creating things, creating more content, creating more courses, creating more opportunity to be able to help others. So I'm going to just sum this up a little bit at the end of this great little episode, because I've focused on two main areas with living with intention. That would be for your work, which is your business, and for your life and your lifestyle. It's just those two basic things. We're not going deep dive into each, but I gave you some of those principles. But I'm going to walk away with 5 little principles here that I covered. Was number 1, and this is for our business, have a plan that you love for your business or for your work. If that's what you're doing presently, that's wonderful. If it's something else, at least outline it so you can start living with intention. Shave away a little time to spend on something that you absolutely, absolutely love. Number 2, create small tasks that you can intentionally fit into your schedule that will make that goal, that plan, actually move ahead. May not move ahead real quick. If you were handling many at halftime or handling still growing children, or they're not quite launched yet, and your job is not done, even when they're launched, I think there's a lot to do still emotionally. And they've got aging parents, so there's a lot to do. But at least outline some small tasks that you can start working on right away. And then number 3, understand the best times that you can work, most productive times, and identify any time wasters. So my most productive times usually are early in the morning. I start very, very early, and it helps me get a real running start. I get a lot done that way. And number 4 is to pay attention to your finances, because that will free you up to pursue your ideal lifestyle and your ideal work, your business. And then number 5 is to identify a lifestyle that you'd love to have. and start purging whatever you can to enjoy it. Maybe you want to start working less hours. Maybe you want to start getting away quarterly. I put times to get away and to travel into my schedule now and then book something. Whether it's something local, there's a local place that we go just an hour away. I try to book 2 times a year for 2 nights, just so we're away. I still bring my laptop, still work, but it's a great just change of pace. So I hope some of this has helped you in creating more intention with what you want to do, and not just being busy and not just saying everything that you're doing every single day. There are so many programs and sort of systems that you can put together. Love Michael Hyatt's system. It's wonderful that he has a whole planner. But there's a lot of systems that you can get in for time management and all of that. But you need to start with your personal intention and personal goals for both your work and for your life. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and make sure you join me next week. Oh, we have a great episode, very little unusual. It's called Discovering Your Family History. And I have this wonderful interview with Dr. Wayne Haston. He's wonderful. He has actually 2 doctorates, but you don't need a doctorate to do some of your digging deep into your family history. And he's done this. Actually, he's writing a full book on it, and he'll be sharing some of the tools that we can all use. And the actual book that he is writing is it's one meant for the libraries. That's how intentional he has been on this journey. It's rather extensive, but he's going to put out a free PDF on. It's a lot shorter version, and I think it's just fascinating how he's gone about that. So I hope you join me then next week. And until then, this is Deborah Johnson with goalsforyourlife.com, womenathalftime.com, and I will look forward to being with you next week. Make sure you tell everyone you know that you think would enjoy this to listen, to subscribe, and to join us. Thank you for joining us on Women at Halftime. Visit goalsforyourlife.com or womenathalftime.com for many more resources, downloads, and programs, or to get in touch with me. I'd love it if you leave me a review and tell your friends. So until next time, this is Deborah Johnson, signing off.